Nashville was supposed to be quiet, a city of music, not mayhem. But the calm shattered when a leaked DNA test surfaced online, dragging country superstar Keith Urban into one of the most shocking scandals the industry has ever seen. The man once known for love songs and red carpet smiles is now being accused of something that could end his career, his marriage, and his spotless reputation. Because if the rumors are true, Keith Urban, Nicole Kidman's husband, might have just become a father again, and not with his wife. It all began with a single post on social media. An anonymous account dropped screenshots of what looked like a DNA report from a Nashville clinic. The test, they claimed, proved that Keith Urban was the biological father of rising country artist Maggie Baugh's unborn child. Within hours, Twitter exploded. Keith Urban baby scandal trended worldwide. Gossip sites turned the story into digital wildfire. Fans were stunned. Could it really be true? Maggie Baugh wasn't just any young musician. She was Nashville's new sweetheart, a talented guitarist with a growing fan base and a reputation for charm and authenticity. She had worked with several country icons, and in 2022, rumors said she started collaborating closely with Keith. What began as mentorship, insiders claim, turned into something much more personal. Late-night texts, private studio sessions, trips to LA under the name of songwriting retreats. But according to multiple sources, those retreats weren't always about music.
By late 2023, Maggie suddenly vanished from the spotlight. No shows, no interviews. Her social media went dark. Fans noticed and started asking questions. Where's Maggie? Why did she delete every photo that mentioned Keith Urban? And then the whispers began. A Nashville insider leaked that Maggie's boyfriend, known online only as the Cowboy, had found messages on her phone that changed everything. Screenshots, photos, even voice notes. What he discovered wasn't a love song. It was evidence of an affair. The boyfriend confronted Maggie, and she allegedly broke down, admitting that she and Keith had a brief fling, a mistake, she called it. But what came next was no mistake at all, because soon after, she discovered she was pregnant. And when the alleged DNA test showed a 99.8% paternal match to Keith Urban, the story turned into an international scandal. The Nashville clinic named in the report immediately denied involvement, calling the document a fake. But that only fueled more suspicion. After all, in the age of the internet, denial often sounds like confirmation. Fans began to analyze every interview, every lyric, every photo of Keith and Nicole Kidman. People pointed out that the couple had been distant for months, skipping red carpets, appearing separately, barely photographed together. Was this the reason why? Meanwhile, Keith Urban stayed silent. No denial, no statement, nothing. His silence became his own confession in the eyes of millions. For a man who built his image on honesty, humility, and love, his refusal to speak was deafening. And while he hid behind closed doors, social media did the talking for him. Hashtags like KeithDNA and MaggieGate flooded the internet. Memes mocked the situation. Country bloggers began calling it the biggest scandal in Nashville since Garth Brooks went rogue.
But that was just the beginning. A mysterious Reddit user claiming to be close to Maggie dropped more so-called receipts, screenshots of texts, emails, and even photos allegedly showing Keith and Maggie together at a cabin near Franklin, Tennessee. Fans compared backgrounds from her selfies and his guitar photos, matching windows, walls, and even lighting. It was a digital detective story, and every new piece of evidence made the picture clearer. Keith's team reportedly went into full crisis mode. Lawyers, PR agents, and NDAs flew around like wildfire. Insiders said Maggie was offered a settlement to stay silent. Others claim she signed an NDA that prevents her from talking until legal issues are resolved. Whatever the truth,
Her silence only made the story grow louder. The internet's tone began to shift. What started as scandal gossip turned into something darker, a narrative of power and manipulation. Many began to frame Maggie as a young artist taken advantage of by an industry veteran. The hashtag #ProtectMaggie began trending. Major country radio stations quietly removed Keith's new single from their playlists. Even some of his collaborators unfollowed him online. The fallout was massive. Then came the alleged voice note, a recording said to be Maggie speaking to a friend, crying, saying, "He told me it was over with Nicole. He said we were starting fresh." The clip spread like wildfire. If true, it confirmed everything: an affair, a promise, and a betrayal. For years, Keith and Nicole were Hollywood's most stable couple, but now that image was collapsing in real time. Nicole Kidman reportedly flew back to Australia, seen at the airport without her wedding ring. Paparazzi photos of her walking alone hit every tabloid. She looked calm but heartbroken. In one supposed leaked email to a British tabloid, Nicole allegedly wrote, "I'm not angry. I just refuse to live a lie any longer. Some truths destroy you. Others set you free." Her publicist denied it, but by then, the quote had gone viral. The story now wasn't just about infidelity, it was about legacy. Nicole had survived a storm before: Tom Cruise, Scientology, heartbreak, and fans were quick to rally behind her again. The internet's sympathy shifted toward her, while Keith's silence became his enemy. His once clean image was now painted with betrayal and lies.
Behind the scenes, things were reportedly getting worse. Insiders claimed Keith's team launched an internal review of his finances and communication history. Some sources even alleged there were questionable payments to Maggie disguised as studio expenses. That's when whispers of an FBI investigation began spreading. Claims that federal agents might be looking into possible misuse of funds and NDAs tied to celebrity affairs. Nothing was confirmed, but the rumor alone was enough to shake Nashville to its core. By the time People magazine dropped a cover story titled "Keith Urban, the star facing his hardest truth yet," it was official. The man once celebrated for his romantic songs had become the face of scandal. Reports claimed Keith had checked into a private facility to reflect and heal. Some called it rehab, others called it damage control. Either way, the silence continued. As for Maggie, she reportedly left Nashville altogether. Some say she's in Texas, working on new music about truth and heartbreak. Others claim she's negotiating a documentary deal titled "Broken Strings: The Maggie Baugh Story." If true, that might just be the final act in this saga. A young woman's heartbreak turned into Hollywood's next obsession. Meanwhile, Nicole Kidman is thriving again. New projects, new endorsements, and a calm strength that fans admire. Photos of her in New York show her smiling for the first time in months. One headline summed it up best: "Nicole's peace is the ultimate revenge." Now Keith's lawyers are reportedly preparing to challenge the leaked DNA test in court, calling it fraudulent. But forensic experts say that with so many verified clinic details, it's unlikely to be completely fake. If it's real, Keith could lose everything: his marriage, his fortune, and his legacy. If it's false, then he's the latest victim of a modern-day digital witch hunt. Either way, the damage is already done. In the end, this story isn't just about who cheated on who. It's about fame, power, and the illusion of perfection. Because in Hollywood, and Nashville alike, truth has a habit of finding its way to the surface. Every rumor, every leak, every tear adds another verse to this twisted song. And as one fan wrote under Nicole's cryptic Instagram post, "Some love stories don't end, they just fade out of tune." So, what do you think? Is Maggie telling the truth?
Or is Keith Urban caught in a setup that spiraled out of control? The internet may think it knows the answer, but in the city where every heartbreak becomes a hit, one thing's for sure: this song isn't over yet.